purpose is that I really want people to walk away from the show talking about the people and the story and the inhumanity of what they thought was their humanity. Not a play about meat pies and blood. It isn't a play about meat pies and blood. It's what happens as a result of the bigger actions in the play. So every decision that I've made and every decision that our artistic team has made has gone to support the vision that this is really, truly going to be a story where we see people as 360-degree characters, not archetypes of he's the bad guy, you know, she's the misunderstood one that's gone off the deep end, you know, she's the comedy relief, he's the manic depressive on the vengeance kick. It's really easy to do Sweeney that way because the score, let's face it, is incredible and doesn't need any help, and it isn't broken. Oftentimes, however, what happens is people do Sweeney in a way that it's over the top, it's garish, and they try to play up all the shock value of it, which is the way I felt that they did with the movie. You know, the movie sort of turned into a horror film, which is not to say that there are not horrific things in this play, because there are many horrific things. But the horror for me is the way man treats man and the actions that happen as a result of our actions. Not, oh, it's blood, and then we put people in meat pies.
At last, my arm is complete again!
Sweeney. It's always sort of confused me in the opening when people start looking at you and say, attend the tale of Sweeney Todd. Because as an audience member, I think, okay, are you talking to me? What does that make you? And what are you in this play? And how does that work? I wanted to create an environment that was very clear from the beginning. So we are going to be what the Fulton was when it first built, which was a turn of the century, the past century, theater that happens to be putting on this particular play. So our whole prologue is real 18th century or 19th century people setting up the stage for something to be told, for an event. Our audience is an audience in a turn of the century theater. Then from that, we become the storytellers directly to an audience, and so on. The play begins with a ghost light, it ends with a ghost light. And there's a whole lot more to that we'll talk about later. So that ideally, the audience knows what role they play in this. That's one thing. The other thing is talking about the blood and the guts. There's no blood in this production that the audience will see. There is nobody's throat that is going to actively be slit in a way that somebody will go, oh my God, it's a horror movie. But like a really great book, or what I think is a really great Hitchcock film, it is more frightening with what our imaginations will bring to the table than what you can. We started this off as a very small, what I was calling teeny Sweeney. When we put it on the schedule last year, we did it because this is one of my, if not my favorite, Sondheim plays, and it's also one of my favorite theatrical pieces. We chose it in a way that I was going to be able to tell it with 14 actors and 8 or 9 musicians. We were going to do it as a small, little chamber play, because again, I wanted to concentrate on the story. But then a lovely benefactress and her husband came to me one day and said, why are you doing it that way? How do you feel about this? If you could do anything in the season that would actually make you jump up and down with joy and glee, is there anything that you're sacrificing for what you want artistically because of finances? This incredible couple gave me the opportunity and gave us the opportunity to actually sit here by providing us with the funds so that we could go from a cast of what was, 9 or 10 to the 28 that are here, and from that small orchestra to an orchestra of 17, which will all be on stage. That decision did not negate my desire to still focus on the storytelling, but boy, did it open up a whole world of possibilities for what the physical production would be. The orchestra is always there. It's on the platform that's across the back. There are 2 side platforms that come straight down towards the audience. So we have a sort of 3/4 ring that lives above, which gives us the ability to play towers and like Romeo and Juliet moments for Anthony and Joanna. We want this to be a complete 360 event, not just for the actors in the play, but also for the audience. I want them to walk away from this and be thrilled and have no reason but to go to all the people that are afraid to see this play and say, don't be afraid to see this play, you can't miss this play.